Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of City Skylines with me, ChipNRat. Today, we're going to be doing something a little different than I normally do in City Skylines on YouTube. So, I want to talk about how to do some of those basic things that can fix traffic, but also make your city look a lot more beautiful without changing it too much. So, if you're ready to get started and like what you see, let's put some diesel in those bulldozers, send them down the road, and demolish that like and subscribe button, and we'll get right into fixing this city. So I let this city run for a little bit with traffic despawning turned off so that all the cars stay on the road, but it is starting to indicate that there are some problems with the road design and the way it's laid out here. If you ignore this problem as it is right now at about 27,000 population, and just like turn traffic despawning on and try to kind of work around it instead of fixing the fundamental issue, you're going to run into bigger issues later on. So if you fix it now, like what we're going to do, you can expand your city a lot more later and have a much bigger city with a lot better traffic flow. Most of the problems in this city are actually to do with almost too many intersections. I'll show you what I mean. This right here is a perfect example of what I mean by too many intersections too close together. I can see what the original city planner was trying to do here by trying to give people more options and more ways in and off of this freeway or this highway here, but it's caused more congestion by causing more conflict points here, here, and here, as well as some weaving. Like if these people want to continue going forward, they have to weave through traffic here. Nobody can exit here and turn around, even though they should be able to, but they're not going to. This is too much. The other thing that happened here is it looks like they used a little bit of anarchy and did not quite connect this road here. Not that I would recommend connecting a road this close to an exit. So the key of what they were trying to go with here is give drivers options. And I am a big proponent of giving drivers lots of options. You want to give everyone as many options as possible to get to where they want, but you don't want to make those options cause problems for the people also currently on the road or currently trying to get to where they're going. Ironically, over here, they've done the exact opposite of this and they've removed this option or never built it in the first place. I'm not quite sure. But there's this arterial road here that probably could link up to this freeway somewhere and give all of these residents another way to get on the freeway or the highway instead of having to go down to this road here and or this road here. You could give them a third option somewhere right up here and allow them to filter up this way and maybe travel this way over here, or even allow these people to travel this way instead of this way. The problem is that despite having these options here for intersections and these ones here, everyone is going to filter down here through this intersection or this interchange and this interchange right here in order to get from this side of town to this side of town, this side of town to this side of town, and from here back. Because this is your industrial area. Everyone is going to be coming through here at one point or another. That's where everyone works. That's where everyone's doing their business. There is some office space here, so people will commute here, but not nearly as many people work in offices as do in the factories here. And you can see this is where a lot of traffic is going, and they've rightfully built a big set of roads. And honestly, I don't really have a problem with this grid layout here. Could cause problems later, but it's not the cause of the traffic problems as they stand in this city right now. So while browsing around the city here, I just noticed this interchange, which I have no idea what's going on here other than like I get the on-ramp and the off-ramp here, but I don't know why you've created these 2 points. This is exactly what I mean by too many intersections. You don't need this intersection, that intersection, that intersection right next to each other. So what happens when you have this many intersections close together is cars generally will not stay inside of an intersection. So if this gets blocked up, this little segment here that can only hold one car, nobody's going to turn right. Even if this is all clear, as long as a car is right there and it can be moving or stopped, these people won't turn right. So by adding this intersection here, this intersection point, you've blocked traffic back here, which could block traffic here, 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 all the way up. Now, again, Again, this intersection is not causing traffic by itself, but if you were in a larger city where a lot of people were using this intersection, this could be the cause of some of your problems in the future. Let's get rid of that and let's make a one lane bi-directional road. So you have one lane split off there, do our lane mathematics, right? One lane goes there and then one lane continues forward. I think I see why you created those two roads. So how we can fix this, let's create our road, go back to our freeway here. We're just gonna put it right up to the edge there. There you go. So if you ever run into a problem where you can't get a road through a freeway, and you don't have like Move It mod or Anarchy or something like that, feel free to demolish that road. You've got plenty of money here. I'm playing with Infinite, but you've got plenty of money coming in. Just demolish that, put down the road you want, and then build over it again. Lastly, because we want to do our lane mathematics, we have 3 lanes coming on, 1 going off. Turn those into 2 lanes, and then 2 plus 1 is 3, so we keep that there, and then do the same to the other side. We're going to do the same thing with this little intersection here. Again, it's not really solving traffic, but it will help future-proof your road. Coming back to this road, we can actually make this interchange a little smaller, and that'll give traffic more time to move over into the right lane to get off, or from the right lane into the middle lane so it can continue forward. So let's fix that. So instead of going out 90 degrees like this, you want to make the road go kind of like this out a little bit and then back. Makes it look a lot more smooth, and it makes your off ramps and on ramps flow a little better and just look a little nicer. You don't have to be super precise. I like going at a 45-degree angle. Do the same thing on the other side. Make them all so that they can go clear through, and there you go. Last but not least, we fix our roads here that we messed up earlier. And there you have a very simple and relatively decent interchange that will take you into the future until you decide you need to upgrade it into something a little more continuous flow or better. Now let's work on this one, which is going to be the biggest problem and the biggest cause of most of your traffic issues. First thing is we are going to get rid of essentially all of this. The first thing we're going to do with this before we destroy it or move it or rebuild it is we're going to figure out where our traffic wants to go. So we click on this little 3-lane highway here and we look at where they're coming from and where they go. So they're all coming from the Garland district. And we've got about an even split of people going this way and people going down into these residential and business park areas. Now, an interesting thing I've noticed is we have people coming all the way down here instead of going from here up. Let's see why that is. Now, we do have people going this way, so that's fine. The other thing to check is where all these cars want to go. And it looks like almost all of them want to go to the same places. Some of them are going out here, but most of them are going to Sterling Park and down here. And the problem is they're coming from here and they're not utilizing these roads here to get down here. They're all using this interchange to go through there. The reason is there's no way for them to turn this way and get into this area here without first crossing into here, using this interchange, and then going down. I'm not entirely sure why this hasn't been done, but we're going to just create one little road here because we don't want to connect this road here. That's too many intersections all at once. We'll create one down here. I'm a big fan of the curvy, swervy roads. They just look more natural. We're going to take this and we're going to try to avoid being too close to that intersection right there. So we're going to take this right here. And then we are going to turn this into right turn only and then forward, forward, and a left turn only and forward, forward there. Then we're going to get rid of this mess. And we're also going to get rid of this little feeder road as you have 1, 2, 3 intersections right there in 3 nodes. It's way too much. They're weaving too much. they're going to cause problems in the future. And we're also going to get rid of this. An important thing to keep in mind is that less is often more when it comes to intersections and interchanges. Like right here, for example, you've got two intersections all meeting up at the same place, and then this, which is just a mistake. Now, it looks like there's actually another little node right in there that I can't quite grab. There it is. And hardly anybody's even using this. So the question becomes, why is this here? And could it be somewhere else? Like, could it be here instead, where it's not too close to that little intersection there? You don't need that much space. You just need a little bit to give them time to move around. So like this amount of space should be fine, especially on a surface street like this. It's not a problem. And with just those few fixes, I'm going to let it run for a bit and see how that changed things. So now you can see the traffic is way worse. However, we have completely driven the problem away from this intersection, which was causing all of our problems before. And now the things that I was talking about, like this intersection not being able to handle as much traffic, and this one probably needing to be fixed, these are becoming more apparent, as well as these intersections over here. And it's really all starting with your Garland district, the industrial area, which is what you would expect. The industrial areas are always going to cause a big amount of traffic and a big amount of problems. Now that we've shoved the traffic problem from what was basically just an inefficient design, now we're finding the real root of the problem, which is down here with these intersections and mostly with this truck traffic right here. First thing that we're going to do to solve this problem is we're going to do some lane mathematics on all of the intersections and interchanges. Here we have 3 lanes, one coming off, and still 3 lanes over here. So we're going to go around and fix that. So I've also gotten rid of this interchange here. And I know you might be thinking, you're nuts, you've ruined it all. And maybe I have, because I've now pushed the traffic over here. And you might be thinking, well, that's not any better. But I've gone up from about 15%, 19% to about 30%. And I see a couple other things I can do here that will make this even better. Get rid of a couple of the intersections here and here. And I know this isn't the prettiest, but the idea is you get rid of, what, 3, 4 intersections there, and you create one lighted intersection here that you can then control a lot easier. And we'll add one more little intersection right here that'll let these people get around if they so choose. Now for all this main road right here, which is where a lot of people are getting stopped up, they're either using no controls or basic traffic lights. And we're going to do this instead and say you all need to yield if you're not on that main road. This should allow the main road to just continue going on forward. And then we're also going to make all of these dedicated turn lanes. That way, if you want to turn, you have to make your decision fairly early on. And same thing with all of these roads. So another thing causing a lot of problems is how close these nodes are. So you've got weaving going on here, and people aren't really able to go where they want and merge and unmerge efficiently. They're kind of stuck with where they're at. So we're going to change these two so that they're farther apart and also farther apart from this interchange here. This one I'm going to turn into a parklow that looks like an M almost. And this one I'm not quite sure what I'll do with. I think I might move it up here a little bit and do a parklow or maybe a roundabout interchange that just connects right there and over here. Okay, here's what I come up with to fix these intersections. I've got a parklow here and a kind of a parklow here, although it's shaped a bit weird. This is a totally custom interchange. It's not my favorite, but I'm working within the boundaries. I don't want to like totally redo these roads here. As you can see, this roundabout here having some issues because of this node right here. So we're going to tell them, hey, no lane switching in there. You've got to just do your thing, pick your lane here. And also, we want all of the people in the roundabout to keep going through the roundabout. Now, we still have significant traffic buildup, and a lot of it, if not all of it, is now based right here in the industrial area. But as you can see, this traffic that was all being generated right here, it's all 100% gone. There's nothing left. In fact, we can make it even a little bit better by making this just go clear through. Don't have them stop at all. And then same thing with this. If we get rid of a few crosswalks there, we now have absolutely nobody getting stopped here at all. Same thing with this interchange here. The only reason traffic is building up is again because of this Garland district, the industrial area. We have no traffic at all down here visible. There was some at the beginning. We have none here, and we now have room for expansion if we want to take this up here. So I fixed just the interchanges. I haven't fixed the industrial area at all, which is causing most of our traffic problems at this point. And I want to point out all of the intersections that we fixed are now having excellent traffic flow, even though I haven't fixed any of the lights or roads really leading into them. So now let's try to fix up the industrial area a little bit. So first things first, I'm not going to try to completely redesign this industrial area. I'm going to try to leave it as much intact as I can, although I personally would do very much different things with this industrial area. But we're working within the bounds of the city. That's what we're going to keep in mind. You want to give them easy access to the freeways or your cargo train hub. So the problem is right now, in order to get to the train hub, all your cars have to go through this main arterial road here, either to this interchange or this interchange. So the problem is all of your cars have to go, so the problem is all of your big trucks have to go through this one arterial road, through this intersection here, this interchange, down here, and then into your railroad area here. Or they have to go all the way up here. And likewise, when they're coming off of the train and the train drops off its cargo, they either have to go this way in or they have to go this way in. Now, this is a little bit shorter of a route, which makes it a little easier, but still, the leaving is much worse. The other thing is, you have all these points that traffic can flow across these intersections, making it a lot more difficult. I like to take all my truck traffic and have it go in a single direction. Since this is our closest interchange, I want all of our highway traffic for trucks going in and out of this interchange right here. Okay, perfect. As predicted, we've now shoved all of our traffic problems into these interchanges here, as well as a little bit this corner here. But this main road is no longer the roadblock here, and none of these roads are really the roadblock anymore. The fundamental roadblock at this point is getting cars out of the rail station here and into the rail station, as well as the merging going on through here. So now we look at where cars want to go from here, and this street seems to be a big part of the problem. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to fix how people are getting on and off of this rail station, because this is not how you want to do it. You want easy access into the industrial area and easy access out of it. Okay, now the problem that's happening is a lot of people are exiting this area just to go around, turn around, and come back and go through here. So what we're going to do is we're going to allow some of them by creating one more intersection right here. We're going to say all of these can only go forward. These people can only go right, and these people can only go left, just like we did on the other side here. We are going to get rid of all of the crosswalks and say that everyone's allowed to keep going through here. And then this one won't need a light. This just needs a yield. And this one probably needs a light, but we'll leave it as a yield for now. We'll see what that does. We'll give it a minute to clear out. There we go. I fixed the major traffic issues by mostly deleting intersections and then just cleaning up a bunch of interchanges. I realized the traffic flow is between about 40 and 50. This is a much better improvement over what it was hitting before, which was down to 10%. A few minor things I would clean up that would help get this upwards of 60 or 70 is cleaning up these tiny little intersections here that are leading out of the residential areas. That's causing a lot of problems. Same thing with this little road here. And I would also actually redo the entire industrial area myself personally. But as you can see, even just fixing the traffic flow direction. I've totally cleaned up the bottom side. The top side could use a little bit more work, but otherwise, this traffic is starting to flow, and this is with despawning turned off. The other big thing that I did was change where the industrial traffic was coming in and out of the rail station here. So now that it's going directly into and out of the industrial area instead of connecting to the freeway, which you should avoid if you can. Having it connect to the freeway is not a bad idea necessarily, but how this city is set up, where everything had to go through these couple of interchanges, that's what was causing most of those traffic issues, as well as this interchange here having so many little intersections right next to it. If I had an infinite amount of time, I would go through and clean up the city more and do public transportation additions, which would help a lot with this city. Most of the problems that are happening are in and out of the residential areas at this point, and that can be solved with a subway system or a robust bus system, even. But otherwise, I mean, most of the city is actually looking pretty good. I want to thank you all for joining me today. I know it's a little different. Basic traffic tips and fixing like this isn't something I normally do on YouTube, so I appreciate you for hanging out, and I will see you in the next video. Hey, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you do, Alfredo here says you should subscribe, or maybe check out this video that YouTube recommends. Well, go on. Why don't you do it?